Hey guys, oh my gosh, I never in my life ever thought that I would be coming on to make this video, and especially in the year 2022. Like, we're just coming out of the pandemic and everything like that, and I know Taylor's been very careful with all of that. And, you know, even though she's made a couple of appearances on award shows and things like that and has released albums, she has not done anything in terms of meeting her fans since before the pandemic. So I can't believe that I am making this video to say that I met Taylor Swift! Oh my god, I just cannot believe it. So, some of you who follow me on Instagram, or if you saw my community tab, or you follow me on Facebook, you probably already know, and you've probably seen the pictures, but for those who haven't, yeah, I met Taylor Swift, like, what is it now, 3 days ago, almost 4 days ago. So where do I begin? Okay, I want to tell you guys the story. I'm going to try my best not to drag it out. I know I tend to ramble. So let's jump right in. So how it first begun. So how it first started was on September 2nd. I woke up in the morning and I opened up my Instagram and I saw Taylor Nation announcing that Taylor Swift was coming to the Toronto International Film Festival on September 9th, 2022 to screen her short film for All Too Well, the 10-minute version. They wanted to screen it in the format it was originally filmed to be seen in, which was 35mm film. I don't really know too much about what that is. In terms of filming, I don't know what the difference between that is and the version that we've already seen on YouTube and that. I'm assuming it's like a higher quality or something, but I don't really know. And so the way that TIFF tickets work, TIFF stands for Toronto International Film Festival. They have a pre-sale day that is for TIFF members. So there's people that pay an annual membership fee so that they get first dibs on tickets. So those were on, when was it? I think those went on sale September 3rd. Yeah, it was like literally the next day, I believe. Those went on sale September the 3rd. I could not get those. I do not have a membership. And it's a really expensive membership, so I just didn't have the money to buy one to get the tickets. However, my mother-in-law, she volunteers at TIFF every year, and when you're a volunteer, you get a bunch of vouchers to get free tickets. So I immediately asked her, because Taylor's event was considered premier, which is like the more expensive ticket, but it was only $27. But I was like, do you have an extra voucher that you could try to get me a ticket to this? So she said I could probably do it. She could probably do it on September 4th, which I also was ready to get a ticket on September 4th, because if you sign up for their email newsletter, you can get it on September 4th. And then September 5th is for the general public. And this is for not just Taylor Swift tickets, it's for like any of the movies airing during the Toronto International Film Festival. So I was like, well, I'll see what can happen. So unfortunately, when the tickets went on sale at 10 a.m. on the Sunday morning, my mother-in-law was doing training for the volunteering. So she could not line up at that moment to get tickets. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try to get the ticket. If I get it, I'll just pay for it. It's fine. But I'll keep in touch. So I went in, I logged into Ticketmaster, and there was like 2,000 people ahead of me in queue, and I'm like, this is not looking good. 2 hours later, there was now 600 people ahead of me and still nothing, still not able to buy tickets. Well, my mother-in-law texted me, said, hey, I am finished to the training and I am in the lineup. Did you get a ticket? I said, no, I did not. I'm still in the queue. I'm still waiting. So she's like, okay, I'm going to try and see if I can get one. Fortunately, she got up there and they were sold out. From what I heard, they sold out the day before, like the very first day. People that had memberships, they bought those up. That was it. I was so upset. I was like, I haven't seen Taylor live since Reputation Stadium Tour in 2018. I was so bummed out and so sad because the day of her screening, I was going to be at the hospital because the lupus clinic that I go to is a teaching clinic and they do a lot of research for lupus. And so quite often they'll approach their patients and say, hey, would you like to participate in a lupus study? And so for the last few months, I've been doing this lupus study on how lupus affects the brain cognitively and stuff like that. So I've been having to like do these Zoom sessions where they like test my memory and all this stuff. And so the next step was doing some memory tests while in an MRI machine. So earlier in that day, I was going to be doing that. And I was like, how perfect. I'll already be downtown and then I could go see her show. Well, no tickets. I was bummed out. So all week I was thinking to myself, should I just go down there after my appointment? Because my mother-in-law had told me there's something called the rush line, which is kind of where like if there is suddenly some leftover tickets at the last minute, like even though it's sold out, sometimes there are people that don't show up or whatever and there's empty seats, and so you can purchase a ticket at the last minute if you're lucky. But she was like, you pretty much have to line up early in the morning, which I knew I couldn't because of my appointment. So I was like, do I bother going down and trying, or do I go down and just like hang around and see if maybe I can just see a glimpse of her like going into the building, or what should I do? So I was sort of hooing and hawing for the whole week, and then September 9th comes around. I get up in the morning and I follow an Instagram page that is, it's a Canadian page where they organize Taylor Swift dance parties in Toronto and just in Canada in general. I've always wanted to go to one. I actually finally got a ticket for one on it's going to be the day after Taylor Swift's new album comes out. So perfect timing to go to a Taylor Swift dance party because they are going to play the new album. So I will finally get to experience a new Taylor Swift album with other Swifties. So I'm excited about that. But anyways, this page posted, hey, we're bummed too that we didn't get tickets. Like so many Swifties did not get tickets. Lots of disappointed fans. They were like, we did not get a ticket either. We're really bummed, but we want to show Taylor our love some way. And so they were able to, for an hour and a half, rent out some patio space on a bar or restaurant or something across the street from the theater. And they were like, join us from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. for a free Taylor Swift dance party. And I was like, that is perfect. Like, what better way I can go and commemorate with other Swifties and we can just have fun and dance and sing to Taylor Swift music. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I wonder if she would catch wind of it and Taylor would like come and join us. I was like, that's probably wishful thinking, but I'm like, maybe, I don't know. So I immediately was like, I'm going to go there after my appointment. And I wore this shirt And this is from Taylor Swift's collaboration with Stella McCartney from 2019 during the Lover era. This is her newest Kat Benjamin button that she got during the Lover era. And I chose this shirt because I was like, if by some chance I meet her, I don't want to like do the typical wear a shirt that has her picture on it, or like I'm sure there's going to be lots of people wearing the cardigans and things like that. I wanted to be different. So I'm like, I am going to wear this Benjamin Button shirt because it's also like really light fabric and it was going to be hot that day. So I didn't want to wear one of my heavier shirts either. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to wear this. I'm going to go. So I go to my appointment and I was so upset because for the MRI, of course, like it's an MRI of my head. So your head is like smushed in this thing, and then they smush these like foam blocks against your temples, and I could just feel my hair bunching up. And on top of that, because I was doing memory tests where I had to see like a computer screen, but you're not allowed to wear these kind of glasses in the machine, they had to fiddle around with some lenses, find my prescription, and put them on these goggle things that I had to wear like strapped to my head. And I was like, my hair is going to look an absolute mess when I get out of this MRI. And what if today's the day that I like meet Taylor Swift and my hair is like trash? And I look like trash beside like the most gorgeous woman in the world. And not only that, but I was also thinking like going to the dance party. I'm like, I'm going to look like absolute shit. So I was a little upset, but I got paid $40 for the study. So I went and cashed that out, decided to grab a little bite to eat for lunch because I was hungry at that point. And then I just sort of like killed some time there for a little bit while I was eating. And then I decided to leave earlier. So I ended up getting down there at 4:30. The dance party was supposed to start at 5. And so I'm like, oh, I'm here early. Now, as I was walking into where they had the road closed in front of the theater, I was walking on the opposite side of the street to the theater because that's the side of the street the bar or restaurant or whatever was on that I was going to. And I was literally planning to just go straight there, even if I was a bit early. But then I was like, oh, they had these like cool murals set up, these big blocks like down the road, and there was like artists literally like painting pictures on them on the spot, and it was really cool. So I was like, oh, I have some time. I'm gonna like, you know, take my time, walk around, look at these beautiful murals being painted. And so that led me into the middle of the street, like the street's closed off. And I'm looking at the paintings and taking pictures. Then I noticed they had some movie posters in the middle of the road as well. And I was like, oh, I wonder if they have the All Too Well poster that I could get like a picture with. So I start walking down the middle of the street, and I'm just looking around all over as I'm walking, and all of a sudden, to my left, I see this like semicircle barricade set up. And there's people kind of standing around it. And in the middle of the barricade are a bunch of black cars and SUVs and stuff like that. And all the windows were tinted. And so I was like, oh, what's going on over here? What are these people doing here? What are they looking at? So I went over. I'm like, am I going to see any kind of celebrities? What's going on? So I don't know how, because there was already quite a few people there. Not a ton, but enough that they pretty much lined the gate, except I walked up and there was literally a very tiny spot left right up in front of the gate. And so I walked right up to it. at 4:40 p.m. It was like it was meant for me. It was just there. So I'm standing there, I'm looking around, I see some Swifties because they had like Taylor shirts and they had cardigans. So I'm like, okay, are they waiting for Taylor? Could Taylor be in one of these cars? But would she be here this early? Or are they waiting for some other celebrities? I didn't know what was going on. And I'm a shy person, so I was like too afraid to ask anyone what was going on. So I'm like, I'm just gonna stand here. I have time to kill. Let's see what happens. About 5 o'clock, some actors from the movie that I guess had been screening came out. I didn't recognize any of them. I think it was from an independent film, maybe like some new actors, or I don't know. I didn't recognize any of them, but it was kind of cool. Like, saw them come out, go in the car, then they opened up part of the gate and they drove off, and then they closed up the gate. So now the whole middle part of the barricade was empty. And now there's more people slowly starting to come in, and you know, there was some people now standing behind me, but I was literally, I was touching the gate. I was there. And so now it's like 5 o'clock and I'm like, oh, the dance party's starting. Do I go or do I stay here? What do I do? I want to go and dance and have fun. I was looking forward to doing that, but now I'm like literally here at this gate. And what if Taylor is the next person to drive in this area and goes into the door there? Like, it was the side door to the theater. I'm like, I don't know if she's going to meet fans or whatever, but I could get a glimpse of her, right? And I'm thinking, I don't know. So I kind of stayed there a bit thinking maybe I'll go to the dance party at like 5:30 or something. I'm waiting. By 5:30, I decided I was going to stay. Something in my gut kept telling me to stay right there. You have this amazing spot right up at the barricade. And, you know, if you leave right now, just watch. She shows up and you miss your chance. So that's all my head kept saying. My gut kept saying, just stay right here. So I stayed there. And thankfully this gate was like right at the bottom of a little curb. So after a while, like my feet, my legs were getting tired of standing. So I was able to sit down on the curb for about an hour. So that helped. And I just was like, I hope I haven't made the wrong choice. But then in my mind, I'm like, I have a ticket for a Taylor Swift dance party in October. So I'm still going to get to go to a Taylor Swift dance party. It's okay if I miss this small hour-and-a-half one. I'm going to a 3-hour one in October. And on top of that, right after her new album drops. So I'm like, this should be a no-brainer, Crystal. Just stay here and see what happens. So we're waiting and we're waiting. And I think it was around, I don't know, maybe around 6 p.m. There's like a back alleyway that went sort of behind the theater, and I heard a lot of people screaming and people were kind of running to the back alley. And I was like, oh, I wonder what's going on over there. Who are they seeing? Like, is there another celebrity? Is it Taylor? I don't know, but I didn't want to leave that spot. Thank God I didn't. So then it was just kind of quiet again after that. There was a lot of Swifties singing All Too Well. And periodically you could hear the music coming from the dance party, but it was a little ways away from where I was, so it kind of like came in and out. I couldn't fully hear. anyways, around 6:30, there was a couple of Swifties that joined the crowd, and they were trying to decide whether they should stay or go, because all of a sudden I heard one of them say that they just saw on Twitter that Taylor's already here. She's like, she's here. She's inside on the red carpet taking pictures. And my heart sank. I was like, no. Like, I thought she was going to come in the side door. Apparently, someone saw her car. Maybe that's why some people were screaming. They saw her. She went in through the underground parking and was already on the red carpet taking pictures in the building. So I, at this point, was very disappointed and starting to lose hope. I was just like, I don't think this is going to happen. I don't know if I made the right choice to stay here. Maybe I should have just gone to the party. I don't know. And so I went on Twitter myself, and sure enough, there was the pictures of her on the red carpet wearing this beautiful gold gown. She was with Sadie Sink, who's from the music video, and Sadie Sink is also from my favorite show, Stranger Things, which would have been cool to see her too. And I was just like, no. And then a lot of people were trying to debate, do we go to the front, do we stay here, or do we try to move to the front? But then a lot of people on Twitter were saying they highly doubt, if she comes outside, that she would come out the front entrance, because there's just too many people hovered around there, and it actually wouldn't be safe for her, even with security. So I was like, okay, what do I do? Do I leave or do I stay? Because I really, at that point, I really didn't think it was gonna. I didn't think she was gonna come out. I was like, she's inside now. She's getting her pictures done, and then she's gonna head up. The show was supposed to start at 7 p.m. So I was like, oh, no. But I'm like, you know what? I've waited this long. Why don't I just wait till 7 p.m.? Wait until the show is supposed to start at 7 p.m. and if she hasn't come out by then I know it's not going to happen. Oh, thank God I waited. So I texted Alex around 6:40 p.m. saying, I don't think she's coming out. I told him everything I just told you guys. I'm like, I don't think it's happening. But I'm like, I think I'm going to wait anyways until 7 p.m. just to see what happens. At 6:51 p.m., the side door opened, and I immediately heard fans that were standing by the door. They started screaming, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I saw her publicist walk out, the security walk out, and I was like, oh my God. And then Taylor walked out. And I was like, oh my God. Like, she walked out, and I was like, what the hell? I just was like, immediately my heart started racing. And I was thinking to myself, okay, has she just come out to wave to us? And then she's going to go back inside, because there was 2 doors on the side of the theater. And I had seen other personnel come out the one she did and then go in the other. And the other had like a sign on it that said hair and makeup. And so she started to walk in the direction of that door. And in my mind, I'm like, is she coming to meet us, or is she just going in the other door? Did she just come out to wave to us and then she's going back inside? But she walked past the door and she went to the first fan, by the first fan that's behind the barricade, like right where the barricade started. And she grabbed her phone and took a selfie, and I was like, oh my God, she is coming to meet us. I couldn't believe it. It was like, my mind was like, this isn't real. Like, this isn't really happening. like, I just was watching her as she moved along the crowd, like, and of course I knew like she was in a hurry because, you know, the movie was supposed to start at 7, but she also wanted, like, I know what she's like, and when she meets her fans, she wants to try her best to get to everyone. And so anyone who was right up at the barricade, she pretty much like would sign autographs or take selfies. And I don't know if she skipped anyone at all. Like, I think she really tried not to. And I'm taking video and I'm like, she's getting closer and closer. My heart was racing 100 miles an hour. I'm like, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And in my mind, I'm like, do not cry, because I was so close to crying right then and there because I couldn't believe it. And I was shaking. And I'm like, don't cry. Do not cry, because I didn't want to be crying in my picture. I wanted to like look normal as I could. Like, I hadn't slept well the last 2 nights. I had bags under my eyes. I looked like crap. I didn't even have makeup on. My hair was a mess. But I was like, I don't give a crap. Like, but I just didn't want to be crying. And I also, like, whenever I meet celebrities, like, same as when I met Backstreet Boys, I try not to cry because, like, I just want to be as normal as possible. I don't want to be, like, freaking out and acting stupid. So I'm just, like, waiting for her, and she's getting closer and closer. And then next thing you know, she's, like, at the girl beside me, taking a selfie with her. And I'm just, like, I had my phone already in selfie mode, and I was just like, hold your phone out so she doesn't miss it. Like, I just was so afraid of her missing me and like skipping over me, and I would have been like devastated. So I was just like, do everything you can to get her so that she doesn't miss you. And as soon as she finished with the girl beside me, she turned to me, she looked right at me and was like, hi. And I was just like, what the hell? Like, this is my life right now. I couldn't believe it. And so then she grabbed my phone. Taylor Swift held my phone, and I put my arm around her. So I like briefly felt her hair. Although I don't know, later on, someone who knows hair really well pointed out that she was wearing hair extensions. I had no idea. I mean, it all looked real to me, but they could tell that she was wearing hair extensions. So I don't know if I touched like the real part of her hair or the extensions, but whatever, it felt amazing. And then like as I put my arm around her, like I don't know, I think I had my hand either on her back or her shoulder. But like her back and her shoulders were bare because of the way that like her gold dress was. So I felt Taylor Swift's skin. Like, what? She has like the smoothest skin ever. I'm just gonna say that. And her skin is like freaking flawless. I mean, I know she wears makeup and everything like that, but the first thing that I noticed, even like as she was coming toward me and going through the fans, the first thing that I noticed was how freaking perfect her lipstick is. Cause like, it always looks it in photos, but then I'm like, was it photoshopped to look that smooth and amazing and not like cakey? But no, like, it is freaking flawless in person. I couldn't believe it. I was like, she looks exactly like she did in the picture. One thing I noticed was like in person, her face seemed a little more slender than it looks in pictures, and her voice is the cutest voice ever. For some reason, to me in person, it sounded just slightly different than I'm used to hearing like in her, you know, TV appearances, concert videos, stuff like that, but also same. Like, it was a little bit different, but also the same. And she had like, sometimes when she was talking to people, it sounded like her voice was a little bit raspy. I don't know if she was like, I don't know if that's like usual or if she had a little something going on. I don't know, but she was just perfect. And you can just tell how much she loves meeting her fans. Like, the moment she walked out that door, her face was lit up like a damn Christmas tree. Like, and the entire time She made her way around that entire barricade. She never stopped smiling. She had the biggest smile on her face. Her eyes were like lit right up because it's been so long since she's been able to do this with fans. You would just tell like how in her element she was and how happy she was to be able to finally meet fans again. And I'm like, I also like just came to that realization that we were like the first group of fans to meet Taylor and get pictures of her since COVID. Like, she hasn't met fans basically since, I guess the last time she met fans was like end of 2019 maybe, or beginning of 2020. I think there was like an awards ceremony or something that she met a couple of fans at right before things shut down. So like, since the beginning of 2020, she hasn't met any fans. So I'm like, I just can't believe it. So anyway, she, like I said, she said hi, and then I said hi, I love you, but I don't know if she heard me because there were so many people screaming around me. There was a guy behind me that was screaming, Taylor, it's my birthday, and she yelled happy birthday to him right before she took a picture with me or something like that, or maybe it was while she was taking the picture. I don't even remember. And he was wanting her to sign something because it was his birthday, and she did after she finished with me, but I don't know if she heard me say hi, I love you. I don't know, because that was the other thing after the fact. Thank God for Swifties on Twitter. There was a fan that I put out a tweet saying if anyone has video of me meeting Taylor, please send it my way, and someone had it. Someone that was behind me got video of me meeting Taylor so I could actually visually see what she said to me, see how she looked at me, see what we did, because it was so fast that it was like a blur.
Taylor,
Thank you, I love you.
Taylor, it's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Could you please give me your sign? Give me your sign, please.
Yes, yes.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
So fast. She snapped like 4 pictures really quickly. We were like leaned in together. And then I said, thank you so much. And like, she moved on like to the next person really quickly. The guy whose birthday it was. And so like, I was bummed because like, I don't know if she even noticed my shirt. I totally didn't think to like point to it or whatever, because like my brain blank, like I just could not think straight. And once it was done, because it was so fast, it's like, did that really happen? Did I really meet Taylor Swift? Like, and my hands were shaking so much. Then I just snapped like a few pictures of her as she was with fans beside me. And then after that, I just started to watch her like leave, well, not leave, but like continue making her way all the way around. Just watching her in awe. And then I looked at my picture on my phone because I needed proof. Like, I just couldn't believe it. And I was also like so afraid that like the picture didn't save, or like The picture didn't turn out good. I had no clue. I was like blacked out. I couldn't remember anything. And I looked at my phone and saw the picture and I just started crying. Like, I just was bawling. And the girl beside me was crying because she got a picture too. And then the guy got the thing signed for his birthday. He was sobbing. We were all like freaking crying. Because it was just like a dream come true that I just honestly, I never thought it would happen. And it just feels like it was meant to be. Like, there was something that kept telling me to stay there. And the fact that, like, there was some fans that had been waiting at the barricade by the side door for 13 hours. And I got there, like, 2.5 hours prior. And there was an empty spot. Like, that I was able to go right up to the gate. Like, I don't even understand how. Like, it was like it was just waiting for me. I don't know. It was just so crazy because the thing is that it's incredibly rare for her to meet fans in that manner. For the most part, you have to be invited by her or her team to meet her, whether it be secret sessions at her house where you get to listen to the new album before it's released, and then you get to like meet her and talk to her and get a picture with her, or she will pick people off of social media to meet her backstage after her concerts. And she also has her mom and staff members looking throughout the audience during her concerts to pick fans to meet her after the show. And that's usually, for the most part, that's usually how you meet her. Unless you just like, I don't think it happens really that much anymore, but I know like it used to be like some fans would just like run into her in public and meet her that way just by fluke or pure luck or whatever. Sometimes people will meet her at award shows, but that's usually it. Like, you know, even when she premiered her music video for the 10-minute version of All Too Well, the short film, when she like premiered it for the first time, it was at a film festival called Tribeca Film Festival in New York. And even at that, she didn't meet fans because that was like almost a year ago now. So I think she was still being a little bit cautious due to COVID, and that's probably why she didn't meet fans there. But she invited fans, and gave them free tickets to the premiere. And so they were able to hear her talk about the movie or the short film and see the short film. And she also played the song on her guitar and sang it, but she did not meet anyone at that, and she didn't go outside the theater to meet any fans either. So I feel like now maybe she's starting to get comfortable because I believe she's going to be, since she has a new album coming out, I think there's going to be a tour next year. So I think she's starting to get comfortable again. So it was just, I don't know, it was like pure luck because I just felt like my chances of being chosen for like secret sessions or backstage meet and greet at a show was very slim because you have to be super, super active on social media, especially Twitter, which I'm not. Like, I don't have a lot of time. I'm an older Swiftie. I'm 40 years old. I don't have a lot of time to be making all these little videos of me dancing to Taylor or lip syncing to Taylor or tagging Taylor Nation or Taylor. Like, I don't have a lot of time to dedicate to like the online aspect as much as like I would love to. I just didn't think it was gonna happen. I mean, I kept trying obviously here and there, but I'm like, I really don't think I'm active enough to be seen. I mean, I did get a Taylor Nation notice during the Lover era. I think it was right after the music video for Me came out, which that I was like crying over that. Taylor Nation retweeted my tweet with a picture of me and stuff. that was cool. But other than that, like, I never got any notices from Taylor herself or like anything like that. So I'm like, I don't even know if I'm on my radar. I did not get invited to the Lover Secret sessions. And so I was like, I really didn't think I had a chance. So this just seems like such like pure luck. It was just like the right place, the right time, the right moment, and it just happened. And I still can't believe it. Like, I have been walking around since Friday night in a daze. I wanted to like scream and jump up and down, but I felt so silly because I was by myself. So I've been holding it in, right? And like all the way home on the subway, I wanted to cry. I was like so ready to cry because I was so happy. And I was listening to her music on my iPod. And so when I got off the bus to come home, I didn't give a crap anymore what people thought of me. I literally put on like one of her upbeat songs and I danced all the way down my street to Taylor Swift music. I was so excited. I was so happy. I was beaming. And I had posted the picture, like one of the pictures of us together immediately on Facebook, like shortly after I met her. And by the time I got home, I had a voice message from my mom. My mom was crying because she was so happy for me. My uncle sent me a voice message. I had like all these comments on my photo. People were freaking out and just like so happy for me. And it was just so cool. And then like I was practically a nobody on Twitter because like I said, I barely post on there. I post my picture of me and Taylor, and I now have like over 1,000 followers on Twitter. And like, oh my God, there was how many? I had like over 5,000 likes on my picture, and I had something like 600 retweets and 600 like 400 or 500 comments. I mean, it's just, so ever since I got home Friday night from meeting her, I have been in a complete daze. I have accomplished zip all. I've done nothing because I've just been conversing with other Swifties that met her, looking at other people's pictures and videos from that night. And then, like I said, someone found the video of me meeting her, and I've been watching that, and like I just can't stop looking at my picture with her and my video with her because I just can't believe it's real. Like I just, Taylor means the world to me because her music, like, I've been a fan from her very first album. From the moment I heard Teardrops on My Guitar, I was like, wow, I love this song. Who is this girl? And I looked her up, and the rest is history. I have all her albums. I watched all her interviews, and like, I love her personality. I feel like in a lot of ways we have similar personalities. We have similar tastes in music, film, television, animals. We both love cats. I have a whole video of why I love her. I'll link it in the iCard or whatever. I have a whole video explaining why I love her so much, but her music is just, it's like poetry. It's masterpiece after masterpiece. And the way that the way that she has with words, so many of her songs describe situations I've been through in my life. And she puts into words the way I feel about certain things. The way that I don't know how to express it, she expresses that for me in her songs. And like, her music is like therapy to me. It is so therapeutic. It's like a way for me to express my feelings and work through my feelings and process things that happened to me. Like, her music has just gotten me through so many hard times. And just, I don't know, like... And she is the nicest person. I don't care what anyone says. Like, you talk to anyone who's met her, she is the nicest person. I mean, her staff, the whole time, kept trying to nudge her and say, we gotta go, you're gonna be late for your show. And she completely ignored her staff and just kept meeting her fans. She wanted to make sure she got to, I mean, she couldn't get to everyone, obviously, because, you know, she couldn't reach all the way to the back. It was whoever was right up at the barricade. But she literally did all she could to get to every single person that was up at the front and able to reach her and her reach them. Like, and she just was so happy to do it. Like, she's like the sweetest person to every single person that she meets. Like, she loves her fans so much. And I just I cannot believe I met Taylor Swift. Oh my God. Like, it really hit me last night. Last night, I was working on getting some things ready for the upcoming doll show. And I was listening to her music while I was doing that. And I just broke down bawling because it's finally, like, especially now that I have the video, it's sinking in more and more each day. But I've just been on, like, cloud 9 since Friday night. This has made my year. And not only that, but we've got a whole new era coming up. We've got October 21st, her new album, Midnights. And then October 22nd, I get to go and celebrate that with a whole bunch of Swifties singing and dancing. Like, what the heck? Like, I don't know. I started off the new year, New Year's Day. I used her little Instagram filter where it puts like a crown on your head that says I'm feeling 2022. And I was lip syncing to the song 22. Who knew 2022 was going to be the year? I'm there. If you go to my Instagram stories, I have it in a highlight. Me singing, I'm feeling 22, like the year 2022. And I was like really into it and all hyper and excited and singing it. Like, little did I know how freaking awesome 2022 is going to be. That I get to freaking meet Taylor Swift, like my biggest idol ever. Like, I don't know. I mean, I've met a lot of celebrities that I love and admire in my lifetime. I've met Kelly Ripa, Susan Aglukark, who, if you don't know who that is, she's a Canadian Inuit singer. She was very poignant in my life during grade 7 and 8. But that's a story for another day. And I was like, again, in the right time, right place to meet her. I actually like was invited backstage for free after her free concert at the CNE. And then I met Brian Luttrell, and then I met Nick Carter by himself twice, plus the Backstreet Boys as a whole once. And like, I would have thought that meeting Nick Carter and meeting the Backstreet Boys was probably like, at that time in my life, that was like top of the list, because I had been a Backstreet Boy fan since I was 15 years old, and I was like in my 30s when I met them or something like that, early 30s. That was a big moment for me. Like that was huge. Don't get me wrong. I was excited about it, but Backstreet Boys for me is more of a, I was a teenager. I found them hot and sexy. Their music was fun to dance to. There's a few of their songs, don't get me wrong, there's a few of their songs that really touch me on an emotional level. Like, they have some really good, like, hard-hitting lyrics in some of their songs. But for the most part, their songs are like, let's dance, let's have fun, you know. They don't have, like, super, like, deep, hard-hitting lyrics, at least not for me. Like, I don't relate to the lyrics as much as I do Taylor. And I think it's because, like, she's a woman, I'm a woman. I relate to her on a female level, like, you know, she, you know, going through breakups with boyfriends and like things like that. And and just like dealing with life issues that come with being a woman. So that's why I like relate so much more to her. So for me, this is just like, this is the biggest thing. And I just keep trying to play it in my head, but it's so hard to remember because it was just so fast. But I'm so glad I have the video now, because I thank you to that Swiftie. His name was Maddie on Twitter. He just happened to be behind me and filming. I'm so thankful to him, because it was so, like, that's the thing that I've noticed every time I meet celebrities. It's always so fast that it's like a whirlwind, and then afterwards you're like, did that really happen? And it's hard to remember. It's just hard to remember. So like, to have video just tops the cake, because now I can look at the video and be like, okay, like the way she looked at me, oh my God. Like, she had the biggest smile on her face, and she was like, hi, like, what? Okay, guys, so I did end up rambling, but that's okay, because this is a big moment for me, and I want this to look back on, to share my story. I just, oh my God, she looked gorgeous. She just looked amazing. Her eyes are so blue, and like, oh my God, like, she was just wearing gold, and she jingled when she walked, because like these gold sequin things, and like she had these gold chains, and oh, and it was the first time, I think, well, other than maybe sometimes in her music videos, like I think the Look What Made Me Do music video, and I can't think of what other ones, but for the most part, I'm used to seeing Taylor Swift with short nails, because apparently when you play guitar, you have to keep your nails short. But she had acrylic nails on for the first, I don't think I fully recall her having acrylic nails very much, and they were like kind of long, and the tips were like sparkly gold, and then she had this beautiful like big gold ring, and gold earrings, and she's just flawless, beautiful. She's the nicest person. She's so sweet. I just don't even know what to do with I have not known what to do with myself since Friday night. I just am like in a daze. I'll try to like start to do something to accomplish something, because I got to get ready for this London Doll show coming up next weekend, or this coming weekend, and I'm just like, I can't focus. I can't focus on anything, because I'm just like, I just keep going back to my phone to look at the stuff, because I can't believe it. Oh my God. Anyways, guys, all right, I'm gonna say bye for now. Enjoy seeing the pictures and videos. Thank you so much for watching. And Taylor, I don't know if you're watching this. This is the shirt that I was wearing. I don't know if you realized it, but it's Benjamin Button. And thank you 100 times over. Thank you so much for coming outside like you did. You really didn't have to, but you did. And I think deep down inside, I knew you were going to, because in my mind I kept saying, I know what Taylor's like with her fans, and I know she wouldn't leave us hanging outside, and you didn't. So you are a class act, Miss Taylor Allison Swift, or should I say Dr. Taylor Allison Swift. Thank you so much. I love you. Mwah.